I got it, but it undo something.
Good afternoon. How are you today? How many of you have never ever been to one of these sales before? You're in deep trouble today. I'm going to take your money and you're going to leave here going, what the hell did I just do? Wait till you get home and your wife finds out what you spent the vacation money on. I hope you get what you bid on because you might be sleeping in it tonight. We're going to go through the rules of the sale before we start so that everybody is on the same page. This is the part that later on when you say, he didn't tell me that, I did tell you that, and I'm going to tell it to you right now, so please pay attention. The rules of the sale are pretty simple. We're going to go through the high points before we get going, but if you want to see them in detail, we hid them in the sale book that you got right under that section that says rules and regulations. Everything that's printed on those pages applies today. Make sure you understand them. If I touch on something you're not clear on, it's written down in detail in that book. Take a look at it so that you understand what we're doing here today. You have to have a valid photo ID in order to bid at the sale today. We have to be able to prove who you are or are not, as the case may be. You have to be registered prior to bidding. You have to have one of those yellow bid cards. If you see somebody bid later on with a blue bid card, that means they got here after we gave the instructions. Sometimes they're regulars and they've already heard all my bad jokes in the warm-up part before, and they get here 45 minutes late because they know they won't be missing anything. But we have to verify with people with blue cards that they understand some of the rules that we're going to be telling you now. These properties have been through a judicial foreclosure process. We didn't just pick some properties up, put them up for sale without telling anybody. Everybody that had an interest in these lands has been sent lots of mail. Somebody's been out to each and every piece of property, knocked on the door, talked to whoever was there. If there wasn't anybody around, we posted notice on it. It's been listed in the newspaper. There have been court hearings and hearings at the treasurer's office. There's been an entire series of notices given on these properties. Anybody that was involved had until April the 1st this year to pay the taxes, or they lost all of the interest they had in the land. This land is now owned by the Chippewa County or Luce County Treasurer. It's official. There's a court judgment on file at the courthouse where the property is located. We have gone and seen the judge. We now have a piece of paper, a court order, a judgment that's on file that says everything you see listed on that screen is void, effective April the 1st. Any deeds, land contract, interest of probate or heirs, things like IRS and state tax liens, municipal utility bills, leases, whether recorded or unrecorded, condo and property owner association fees, anything of that nature, mortgages, you name it. If it existed on April the 1st, it's been extinguished by an order of the circuit court if they didn't pay. Some things are not at all affected by a tax foreclosure. Easements, if there's a power or utility easement over the property. If you're buying a piece of property and it's on the road and there's an acreage piece behind it and there's an easement through the property to get to that piece behind it, that easement is still there. Easements are not affected by tax foreclosure. If the mineral rights have been split off and either kept by a former owner or sold to a third party, they're not included today. If the property has its mineral rights, you get them today. If they've been split off in the past, they're not included. If the property is, and most of them are, subject to zoning, building code, any kind of a deed restriction or property owner or homeowners association agreement, those things still apply. Crop harvest. If you buy something today and it's got corn planted on it, it's not your corn. We're going to reserve the right today that if any crop is planted on a piece of property, and if it's an annual crop, we're not talking about Christmas trees, we're talking about something planted this year to be harvested this year, that crop remains the property of whoever planted it. We are reserving the right for them to come and get it. We've had some real screaming matches over this in the past, so we just made this a policy. Please make sure that you know what you're bidding on today. It may not always be apparent. We've been through most of the properties We're not allowed to go inside properties in Luce County because that's managed by the state. And they give me the rule that I'm not allowed inside anything. So often we just kind of have to judge things from outside. Chippewa County, anything that's got a building on it that was not occupied, generally I went through and took pictures. They've been posted online. But please make sure that you know what you're bidding on and you verified the information. Things are not always as they seem. Here's one we're selling this year. Segola, Dickinson County, up there north of Iron Mountain. I don't know if you're familiar with the UP, you probably know her. Doesn't that look like a charming, nice little place? I went around that 2 or 3 times trying to get in. Usually log cabins out in the woods, I don't have any trouble getting into. I just push on a door and they usually pop right open. That one was bound up tight. I had a hard time getting in. Looked in the windows and I was looking right back at myself. It was like looking in a mirror. Went around it a couple, 2, 3 times trying to get inside. I figured I'd get inside there and it'd be just a nice, quiet, quaint little place. Wasn't I surprised when it looked like that? You know what I was telling you just a minute ago about crops, annual crops? Sorry, not included. Please note to buy them. Most of what's here today is here on purpose. We are selling everything as is, where is, with all of its faults and defects, no guarantees, no warranties. Quick claim deed is what you're getting today. You're buying the legal description of property as listed in the book that's in your hands. We do not guarantee photos or any other comments or observations. You're buying the property that's described in the book that's in your hand today. These properties can have lots of problems. Asbestos, frozen plumbing, leaking roofs, bad foundations, nosy neighbors, you name it, we've got it today. No extra charge. All sales are final, know what you're bidding on. There are no refunds today. When we sell, here's how we do it. This is people want to know all the time. And here is how it's done. Everybody's got a copy of the sale book. We have had you go through the line and tell us what you're here to bid on today. In a second, I'm going to take a look and I'm going to see what is real popular, what a lot of you came here to bid on today. We're going to move those to the front of the sale. We're going to sell the popular stuff first. It's probably going to be a half dozen or 10 pieces. That'll get rid of a lot of people in here. Then we're going to go back to the beginning of the book. We're going to sell them in the order that they're listed. We're going to skip the pieces that nobody in this room wants to bid on. I do have bids online. I've got 114 bids already before I even start the sale. I've got one piece that I know I have 20 bids on already. If I've got something that is that I have bids online for but nobody in the room, I might or might not open them up depending on how many people seem to be hanging around for it. We're going to sell them by popularity, and then we're going to go back through the book and sell what you told me that you want to bid on. Before I skip a piece, I'll ask if anybody in the room is here to bid on it. If nobody in the room wants it, we're likely to keep on going just to get you guys through here fairly quickly. So that's how that's going to be done. When we sell, there's a number in your book. It says minimum bid. That's not just a number we picked out of thin air. That's basically the back taxes. That's what that piece of property owes Chippewa or Luce County. There may be things in there in addition to back taxes. There could be some legal fees. There could be lawn mowing. They might have boarded up a window or hauled away some junk. Anything that that piece of property owes the county is what is included in the minimum bid. We can't sell anything for less than the minimum bid today. We're going to open at either the minimum bid number or a higher bid if I've already got one online. Like I said, I've got one piece in this book that I've already got 20 bids on. We're not going to start way down here if I already know that I'm going at least that far. I'm going to start at the highest competing online bid if I have competing online bids. It'll be pretty obvious how it works once we do a couple. Once we open the bidding up in one of those two numbers, it then increases by the number you see on the screen. In round numbers, we're going to go up by either $50, $100, or $250, depending on what the price is right then. It's round numbers. We don't split them in half. We don't do dollar bids. We'd like to be out of here by midnight tonight. Feel free to jump the bid. If we're at an $800 piece of property and the next bid's $850, and then $9, and then $950, and you want it really bad, feel free to stand up and shout out $50,000. I'll bet it ends it real quick. That's called jumping the bid. Sometimes I may ask, if I know I've got somebody online that wants to pay $40,000 for something, and you're at $1,500, I don't really want to go up $100 at a time, because I already know so I'll sometimes ask if you want to jump the bid higher. We had a piece the other day, we were jumping the bid $50,000 at a time. So, we don't always follow those increments. If I got a lot of cards in the air, we're not going to go $50 at a time. We'd like to get it done. There's several ways to bid. We have you guys here in the room with your yellow bid card. We have people bidding online. I've got 114 bids placed online before the sale. They've given us an authorization on a credit card. They're out $1,000 if they bid and they don't pay. We also have people that can bid live online, right in the middle of the room on the tripod's a little camera. They can see and hear this sale right now. We've got a few people that are really active live online bidders. They can bid against you in real time as well. I want to remind the people bidding live online, do not use the video feed for your frame of reference for what's happening in the room. Sometimes it's delayed. We cannot control the speed or even connection at all of the internet, either on this end or on your end. We remind them again, we've had sometimes where we've had little glitches that people can't get through. It's not the safest way to bid. If you really want your stuff to get through, use the advanced online bidding. It's a whole lot safer. We sometimes have paper absentee bids. They couldn't be here in person, they don't trust, or they don't use the internet. Sometimes they'll phone one in and we have it on paper. I don't think we have any of those today. We probably haven't had one of those in a year or more. If you win today, you have to pay today, and you have to pay in full today. There's no down payment, there's no closing date, there's no time for you to go mortgage something, or you should have brought your money today. It's a cash sale, though we don't necessarily take cash anymore, but you have to pay in full today, within about 30 minutes of the time that we sell the last property. If you can't pay in full today by, say, maybe 2 o'clock, you probably shouldn't be bidding today. If you're bidding online and you win something, you'll get an email tonight. It'll give you instructions on how to pay. Little different rules, they need a little more time because they're far away. The first $1,000 you give us today needs to be cashier's checks, certified funds. It's something that once you give it to us, you can't put a stop payment on it. It's your deposit, it's fully at risk. If you give us the first $1,000 by certified funds and you give us the balance of your payment by a regular check and your regular check bounces, you either have to make the check good or your $1,000 is toast. It goes into the Chippewa County Christmas Party Fund. We also take cashier's checks, credit cards, personal or business checks, or money orders. We also take credit cards for anything over that first $1,000. We take Visa, MasterCard, and Discover cards only. We do not take cash. We had too many problems. People losing money, people giving us money that they printed at home. That wasn't here. But all kinds of problems with cash, so we just don't take it anymore. What are you going to pay if you win today? Here's how the math works. We arrive at a final bid price here in the room. There are 3 things you're going to add to that. 10% buyer premium, that's the cost of the sale and all the preparation for the sale. $30 is what it costs to record a deed in the state of Michigan. You're going to get the deed to the property in probably about 6 weeks. It's going to be recorded at the Register of Deeds office, so that once you buy it here today, you don't have to worry about that. It will all be taken care of for you. When you get it back, it'll be in your name legally at the courthouse. Any taxes that are due for the summer of 2019 are going to be added to today's bill. Each piece of property at the end of the description says summer tax due. That's going to be added to your total today, so when you leave here, all the taxes are paid right up to date. That minimum bid already includes all of the back taxes on the property. There's no sales tax, there's no transfer tax on sales, so that's what you're paying today. Final bid price, 10%, $30, and the summer tax. If you're using a credit card, there's a surcharge of 2.75% to whatever amount is put on the card. If you need to go to the bank, if you need to leave the building, if you didn't come with a cashier's check and a check to pay, to check out, you have to go down to the credit union and take them all your pennies you've been collecting at home and have them give you a check back, and then you need to come back. Let us know before you leave the building. Let the clerks know what your bidder number is right where you checked in. We'll wait around a little bit, but we're going to be boxing up after about half an hour after we've sold the last piece or whenever everybody in line is done. Many of you have given us online the information you want on the deed to the property if you buy something today. If you haven't already done that, there's a handy dandy little form in your book. It says deed information at the top. Give us the names and addresses of everybody that's going to be listed on the deed. Be careful if you list names for somebody that is not here today, and I'll tell you why in a second. Please fill this form out before you get in line. It keeps things moving quicker. We don't have people out there writing things when you have people waiting behind you. Use your full legal name, whatever appears on your driver's license, whatever appears on other real estate documents, the properties you own. Don't put down your nickname. If everybody calls you Bubba, don't put Bubba on there. Put your real name, the one your mama gave you. So do that before you get in line. It keeps things moving quicker. If you're buying property today with somebody else and you're not married to them, Michigan law requires you to pick a form of ownership. The technical word is tenancy. The descriptions of them are listed in the sale book. The purpose for that is if you buy a piece of property with somebody else and you're not married to them and one of you dies, what happens to that person's ownership share of the property? Does it go to the remaining surviving owner? Does it go to the person who died? Does it go to their heirs? How do you want that handled? We're required to put it on the deed. The options are in your book. So if you're buying something today with somebody else and you're not married to them, please give us the form of tenancy you would like listed on the property. When you leave here today, we are not handing you the deed to the property. We don't even have it created yet. Every time property is sold, it's not some piece of paper like a car title that changes hands. It's something that's created, it's new. We haven't even printed it yet. You're gonna get it after it's recorded at the Register of Deeds. That's about 6 weeks from now, give or take. What you're gonna leave here with today is a receipt for the property. The receipt is our written agreement of today's sale. You're gonna be signing it and initialing it in several places. I'm gonna go through what's in that agreement now so you don't have to call your lawyer and fax it to them, and we're going to tell you the high points of what's in it now. First of all, when they hand you back this receipt, I want you to look at it really closely. If you brought somebody with you, have them check it too. Is your name spelled right? If it's not, it's going to be wrong on the deed, and you're going to have a heck of a time selling that property someday. You're going to be agreeing to the terms of the sale today. Everything we're talking about now, everything that's printed in those rules and regulations, you're agreeing to when you sign this document today. Please check the list of properties that you bought and the prices. If it's wrong on that form, you're going to be getting a deed to something that you didn't plan on buying. You don't want that to happen. Make sure that it's correct. You're agreeing today when you sign that document that you had the opportunity, doesn't mean that you did, it means you have had the opportunity to drive by the property, to take an eyeball look at it, to send somebody else by, to go to the courthouse and verify the dimensions and the location and things like that, that you've had that opportunity. Here's another one. We often sell buildings that are vacant. They're unoccupied buildings. I want you to understand that when you buy property here today, you are not the owner when you walk out of here. You're the owner when that deed that's going to be recorded and come back to you in 6 weeks. That's when you're the owner. The law very specifically gives the treasurer the right, the legal right to cancel today's sale within the 30 days after the auction if we discover a reason to. We had one just the other day, and they're very, very, very uncommon. We had a piece that was sold, and we found out that the tax bills, even the tax bills themselves were being sent to the wrong city and zip code. The address was right, but somebody had goofed up the city. So the notices sent were not even being sent to the right address. We can't sell something. If somebody doesn't accept their notice or they get it and they just throw it away, that's their problem. If it's getting sent to the completely wrong place, that's a whole different situation. But anyway, when you buy a piece of property today, you are not the owner of it until you have the deed. We should tell you that you can't set foot inside any building, even if it's vacant, until you have it, because you're not the owner. I could tell you that 100 times. I could make you sign an agreement, we could take a blood oath. But I know, I've been doing this almost 30 years, And I know from experience that if you buy a vacant building today, you're gonna be in there this afternoon, right? Let's be honest here. So, we're putting in the agreement this clause, you're agreeing to it today. We're going to give you possession of the property if it's unoccupied today for 3 specific purposes. Keep them in mind. Stay in your lane, I think is the new saying. Inspection, security, maintenance. It does not include moving in. It does not include remodeling. It doesn't include tearing it down. We're going to give you possession, authority to enter the property today, to look around, lock it up, and take care of it. And that's all, nothing more. Because we know you're going in anyway. In exchange for that, you're going to be releasing the county from liability for injury, loss, or damage. You walk in, you fall through the floor, you break your back, it's on you. You leave your tools there, somebody breaks in and steals them, it's on you. You're waiving those damages today in exchange for giving you the early possession that we know you're taking anyway. The final part of your checkout process, this is really important. You could get yourself in trouble today. This is why I said earlier, if you're going to put somebody else's name on that deed, you better know them pretty well. You are required under Michigan law to certify as part of your checkout process in front of the notary public, it's going to be a witness signature out there, that you have no other property in either one of these counties with any delinquent tax that has your fingerprints on it at all. This applies to rental property that you might own, even if it's in some kind of a corporate name or something of that nature. It includes something that you co-own with somebody else. If all of your siblings are on the deed for mom's house as an estate planning thing, and mom's taxes aren't paid, shame on you. You shouldn't be here spending money. You should be paying your mother's taxes. If you have a property that you hold the deed to, and you've sold it to somebody else on a land contract, and their taxes aren't paid, I can't take your bid today. I can't sell to you. We can't take you. If you have any fingerprints on any property in these 2 counties and the taxes are not paid current through winter of 2018, it's against the law for you to buy property here today. They're going to be asking you to make what's called a sworn statement in front of the notary public today. You're going to be representing that you don't have any delinquent taxes. If you fib, you've crossed the line, you've done a crime, it's called perjury. You've lied in front of an official witness. It's just like lying to a judge. Perjury in Michigan is a felony. Just want to let you know that. If you buy something today, if you try paying for, if you send your brother-in-law to bid for you and he's got your check in his hand, we can't take your money. Your bid will be canceled, the file will be sent to the prosecutor's office. You don't want to go there. Please just don't do it. Here's a form in the back of your book. You're required to send this in. They can fine you if you don't. It's the Michigan Property Transfer Affidavit. It's probably like the last page of your book. If you buy something today, you have to contact the local assessor's office, city, village, or township, not the county, city, village, or township where the property is located, and say, hey, I bought this, send me the tax bills from now on. Here's my name, here's my address. I bought it from the Chippewa or Luce County treasurer. Actually, if you're buying today in Luce County, the seller is going to be the state of Michigan. The Michigan Department of Treasury is officially the seller today in Luce County. But you're going to send this to the assessor's office. You're going to give them your name and address so they know where to send the tax bills from now on. You're going to tell them how much you paid for it today. In theory, they're going to adjust your assessment to match what you paid today. Doesn't always work that way. If you don't send that in within 45 days of today's sale, they can fine you up to $200. Title insurance, do you need to get it? There is nothing that requires you to have title insurance on a piece of property. It's up to you if you want it. Generally speaking, if you're buying something today and it's for your own recreation, don't bother with it. If you can get title insurance, generally speaking, you don't need it. They're taking your premium because it's almost free money for them. If you're buying something today and it's got a bank in its future, you bought a piece of property, you're going to be using the property as collateral to borrow money to build a second home on it. If you're buying something today to fix it up and flip it to somebody else, If they're gonna be borrowing money to buy it from you, somebody's gonna need title insurance. It's not always easy to get title insurance on tax averted property. There are places that it's easier to get it because they deal with it all the time. It's kind of complicated. If you can't get title insurance from your local agent, I'm gonna give you 6 names and numbers of places it may be available. These, I think, are also listed on our website. First American Title in Detroit has an office that specializes in tax foreclosed property. Tax-sale.info, they actually insure the insurance company to guarantee that the title insurance will be good. Betts Title, also known as Sun Title down in Grand Rapids. Devon Title, I don't have much experience with them. The SNP Title Agency is down in the Indian River. They will write policies on stuff anywhere in the state of Michigan. Peninsula Titles in the western UP. I don't know if their fingers reach this far into the eastern UP, but you might check with them over there at pentitle.com. This is an important date. I mentioned April 1st earlier as the day that the treasurer became the owner of the land, and all other interests in the land were extinguished by a court order. This is a very important date for you for 2 reasons. Keep this, if you only leave here today with one thing in your noggin, it should be that date. If you hear from somebody after today's sale that claims they have an interest in that property, or that somebody that had something to do with that property owed them money and now they think you owe them money, or they have the right to come and get something or do something, or whatever their situation might be, your first question should be, when? If it existed before that date, they can go talk to the judge because it's bye-bye, it's already gone. The treasurer has not authorized any charges against this property that are not included in today's minimum bid. Something could show up. Once in a while, there's a small municipal utility charge for being connected to water or sewer, even if it's not turned on, a few dollars a month, like a connection fee. If there is something after that date, you inherit it today, if it's not already in the minimum bid. We're not aware of any of those things that could be there. If there are homeowner or property owner association fees, they begin for you on that date. I don't think anything we're selling today has HOA or POA or even condo fees. I don't think we're even selling any condos today. If any kind of a membership fee comes up, your day of liability begins no earlier than that. Keep that in mind. If you're buying something today and it's connected to municipal, water, or sewer, you're gonna wanna write those 4 numbers on the top part of your screen down. This is a Michigan Attorney General opinion. It's on the record, you can Google it. Michigan Attorney General Opinion 7258 says 2 things. If you buy a piece of property today and it's connected to city, water, and sewer, and they shut it off because the people didn't pay that, they weren't paying their taxes, they weren't mowing the lawn, they weren't doing anything. You go to get the water turned on and they want you to pay somebody else's old bill. It is not your bill. Those charges also die on that date. You're liable for anything that could have arisen after that date, but nothing before. In addition to those charges being canceled, they cannot refuse to turn the service on for you if you won't pay them. It's not your bill. The Attorney General's office says so.
What if they rolled it to the tax roll?
If they roll it to the tax roll, it's already in today's minimum bid.
Okay.
So that's the number right there. If you're buying something and it's got city water, if you're not even sure if there's a fire hydrant on the block, you're gonna wanna write those numbers down. 7258, you can look it up, you can print it out, you can take it. Most of them are aware of it. A few of them will kind of play with you like, oh, we don't know, we've never heard of that before, we want you to pay or we won't turn it. They're gonna do what they can do to talk you into paying it. You don't have to, it's not your obligation. Possession, we already talked about it. We're giving you possession of the property today. If it's unoccupied, you're making the agreement. We already talked about it. Maintenance, inspection, securing the property only. What if you buy something today and it's got somebody in it? Even if they weren't there when I was there taking pictures, somebody moved in last night. You go up there and you get to that place today and you're ready to start looking around and you go to the front door and there's somebody there. We've all heard lately about those people drinking too much Kool-Aid. There he is right there, live and in person. If there's somebody there, you can't just boot them out. There is no such thing in Michigan law as a squatter. If somebody is on that property when you get there, they're called an occupant. You have to remove them with the assistance of the court. If you do any other way, if you just move their stuff on out, cut off the utilities, pick them up and throw them out, he might be a trick to pick up and throw out. But if there's somebody there, you have to treat them the same as you would a tenant if you bought the house. You have to take them to district court, you have to go through the eviction process. You also can do something called cash for keys. You negotiate something where once they've moved out, you'll give them some money to get on down the road. Don't give them any money before they're out. Nicky on the lobby out there did that one time in something he bought. They were off to the casino and he wouldn't move. Make sure they're gone. Sometimes it's best to make contact with an occupant. Sometimes if you buy something and there's an occupant, you already know it is. We probably sometimes have people come to the sale with the person trying to buy that property back. Sometimes they get it back, so there's no wrinkle there at all. But if you buy something today and there's somebody in it, you don't know who it is, here's my advice to you. Find out who they are. Make contact by some kind of remote control first, over the telephone, the internet, through an intermediary. Somebody in that neighborhood where that property is located is going to know who's there and how to contact them, and whether or not they're rational or whether they're upset. They could be dangerous. They could be armed. Please be cautious approaching any occupant in a property. What you're buying today, we are selling you a piece of land. It's described in the sale book that's in your hands. Included in that sale today is whatever is physically attached to that piece of land. You're buying trees, septic tanks, garages, driveways, utility services, telephone installations, TV antennas, wells, septics. That's what you're buying today. We are not selling you anything on any of these properties that can be removed without the use of tools, anything that can be picked up, rolled off, pushed away, carried out. We don't own it. We foreclosed on a piece of land and whatever is physically attached to that land and taxed. We have no right to appliances, furnitures, automobiles, boats, RVs. If anything like that's on the property, we don't own it. We can't even sell it. We can't even give it to you. You're going to have to go talk to those same neighbors and say, okay, I bought this double wide out there and there's 2 brand new Harley Davidsons in the living room. It's not Christmas. They're not yours. Find out who owns that stuff. There's no law or rule here. It's just common sense. Find out who owns it. Give them an opportunity to come and get it. Get them to give you something in writing that says they don't want it. If they don't want it, I'm not talking about garbage and old baby diapers. I'm talking about things of value. It can be of financial value, things that have a monetary worth that can be sold. Sometimes I've seen people get all out of sorts over baby pictures and things like that that get thrown away when somebody cleans out a house. If you find something and it's either got financial or maybe sentimental value, just set it aside, find out who it belongs to, say, hey, come and get it. There's no rule about how long you have to give or how you have to contact them. Just if you end up in court, you want to be the one that seems like you did things right. So keep that in mind. We can't sell you anything not attached to the property. We do not warrant the title to any mobile, modular, or manufactured housing unit. If it's ever had a separate title, it may be titled in a third party. It could have a lien interest on it that did not affect the land and they weren't sent notice. If any of those things apply, somebody else might have the right to come and get a mobile, modular, or manufactured housing unit, even if it's on a concrete block foundation, even if it's attached to the property. If they didn't get proper notice, there's not a judge on the planet that won't let them come and take it. So keep that in mind today. If you're buying anything that's ever had wheels under it, if it's ever possibly had a separate title, we do not guarantee the title to them. Generally speaking, they're going to be left. If somebody comes and says they're going to take something like that off a piece of property, make them show you an order from the court. You don't have to just let them come and get it because they got the keys. When we sell, it's like riding a teeter-totter. I'm going to start with either the minimum bid in that book or a higher online bid if I have competing online bids. Once we open it up, we're going to increase by those bid increments that I told you about earlier, back and forth in the room with 2 bidders. Once I'm down to 1 person in the room that still has any interest, Harry over here does the bidding for people online. If somebody online wants to keep on going, then the teeter-totter is one person in the room and one person online. And people ask me all the time, is it slower when you have somebody bidding online? Only if they're married. Single people bid way faster. Auction tips. Many of you have never been to this before. You'll probably never come back after today's experience. A couple of tips for you. Here's one that will really send you to orbit. When you leave today, that bid card you've got in your hand, treat it like you would a credit card with no limit. Don't leave it on your chair when you go bye-bye. Somebody can pick it up and you might end up with a whole bunch of roads out there in the middle of Sault Ste. Marie, a whole bunch of lots that don't have any roads to them. You don't want to buy those, we don't want to try to collect them. Turn that card back in where you got it and keep an eye on it in the meantime. Your cell phone, if your cell phone rings during active bidding, it's an automatic $50,000 bid increase from where we are at the moment. Please either put it on silent or vibrate if you have to have a conversation with somebody. Take it out in the hall. If your husband has just exceeded the authority that you gave him last night, take that outside. If you make a mistake, people sometimes in the excitement of the moment bid on the wrong piece of property. If you make that mistake, let me know the instant you realize it. Even if we're still bidding on that piece. Don't wait until after the sale to tell me you made a boo-boo. Stop me as soon as, if I can still sell it to the other bidders, I'm happy. If they've all left because you waited too long, I'm going to ask you to pay for it. Please be considerate of everybody else here. We'll be considerate of you. And don't wait till the last second to get your card in the air. Before, I am not an auctioneer. I do not do the yabba dabba do. I speak English. It's going to be very clear who the winning bidder is. I'm going to be pointing at them and repeating the price. If the winning bid is online, I'm going to be pointing over here. If you think you're winning and I'm not pointing at you, you better get that card up. I'm going to say going once, going twice, and sold. If your card goes in the air when I say sold, it's probably too late. Get your card up early. I'm going to be looking for everybody that I know has an interest in the property. I want to make sure that I have as much money out of these as we can today. Our goal, if you total up all those minimum bids in that sale book, there's a whole bunch of stuff here today that is not going to sell. Our goal today is to sell what we do sell for enough money to pay all those taxes. Then we don't have to raise yours. So that's our goal here today. Any questions before we get going? Yes?
What about the one that doesn't have the tax code on it?
Which one is that? That's one of the special tax-free properties. Which one is that? Anybody seen anyone in there with that?
It says TBA.
To be announced. That one is not being sold today. I should have mentioned that outside. 1843 has been the subject of ongoing legal contest, and he filed again last week. So we don't want to sell something to you that you're going to end up right in the middle of a lawsuit on. 1843, we expect to prevail. We're aware of what the argument's on. It's already been decided in court. He's taken it to another court. It's already been decided by the first one. Not going to probably go any further than what it is. We're likely to sell that piece this fall or next year. We don't know yet because the court has not ruled on it yet. If you're here for that piece, watch the website. There's going to be another auction that is strictly online that happens in very early November. The entire month of October, anything getting sold at that sale will be online. It's basically the leftovers from today. If it's not resolved by then, it'll sell next year at about this time. I do expect it's going to be sold, just not today. Any other questions? Then we're going to get started. I'm going to take your money. Let me take a really quick look here. I think I've got 5 pieces that are going to get sold in advance. But let me confirm that. It appears I've got a few pieces in here. could have a lot of interest online and not much in the room. So what we're gonna sell in advance will be 1804. 1814. I gave these numbers a second time. 18, 18, 18, 19, 18, 20, 1827. If I'm reading out the numbers, something you like, you got competition. 1842. 1827. I said that one. We're gonna be selling that one in the first round. And then in Luce, 4103. So the ones we're gonna sell first and then go back to the beginning of the book include 1804, 1814, 1818, 19, and 20. 1827, 1842, and 4103. Those are the ones that most of you here today are chasing. We're going to sell those. That's going to clear out probably half this room. And then we're going to go back to the beginning of the book and sell what's left in the order that they're listed. So that's how we're going to do it today. Any other questions before we get going? Let us start with number 1804. We're selling in Chippewa County. 1804, I've got 3 bids online. I've got about a half dozen people in the room that came here to buy this one today. The minimum bid listed in the book is $1,500. The online bidders, 3 of them have already been riding that teeter-totter. It's been squeaking and creaking. They're already at $15,250. This is out on Maxton Road out on Drummond Island. It is a converted garage type of appearance that does, I think, have living quarters in it. Yes. There was a house right next to this one. It burned a couple, 2-3 years ago. It was occupied through this spring. I think there may be a well on the property. I don't think it's active right now. I think they've come and gotten, contents-wise, whatever they wanted. There were still some things in there of value. You might want to verify it with the neighbor that lives to the left of this house, knows how to get in touch with them, and she may even be here today. She expressed an interest in buying this piece. I'm at $15,250 already. We're out on Drummond Island. Who wants to give me $15,500? I've got $15,500 right there. Anybody in the room want to give me $15,750? I've got more than that bid online. Anybody in the room at $15,750? I've got you on at $15,500. You can raise your own kids, but not your own price. $15,750. Yep. Now 16. 16 and a quarter. Yep. 16,250. 16,500.
16,750.
Ooh, they're jumping the bids. We got live bidders watching that camera, punching that button. 17,000. 17 and a quarter.
Yep.
You want to go to 18,000? 18, he's jumping the bid. How about 18 and a quarter?
Yep.
What about 19? 19 and a quarter.
Yep.
$20,000. Now 20 and a quarter.
Yep.
20 and a half. 20,750. 20 and a half in the room with you right there. Anybody want to give me $20,750 for that one? 20 and a half going once. 20 and a half going twice. You bought it. 20,500. He's happy about it. What's your bid number? 20,500. 347. Our backup bidder is online. Here's how this works. He just bought that for $20,500. He goes outside and his phone rings and it's his wife. Honey, where are you? Where's the money that's missing from the bank account today?
Hey, can I go take care of this now?
If the winning bidder cannot or will not pay, We contact the backup bidder and they're offered the property for one bid increment below the final sale price. You can go right out there and check out. That would be $20,250. It's not negotiable. If you get the call as the backup bidder, it's yes or no. You're either willing to pay the backup bid price, one bid increment below the final sale price, or it's no deal. It's not a time, it's, Monty Hall is not gonna make a deal with you on that, on the phone that day. Now we're going down to number 1814, Old Aid Road. I've got 20 bids on this piece online already. This is 160 acres of property on Old Aid Road. Nice stuff. It's probably got some pockets on it of some marshy land, but there's a lot of nice upland and buildable property here. 20 bids online and almost a dozen people here in the room to bid on this today. You're not buying it for $5,700, so I am afraid to tell you that the minimum bid has been exceeded. They're already at $36,500 and they'll go higher. Who in the room wants to give me $37,000? We're talking about 160 acres. Anybody want to give me $37,000? I got more than that bid online. Anybody in the room want to give me $36,750? You gonna let them have it for that? I got 36.5, but I bet I got somebody watching that camera wants to punch that button.
37,000.
37,000. Anybody in the room at 37.25?
Yep.
We have an advanced bid online. Somebody that put a bid in. I know how high that's going to go. I got somebody else watching that camera right now. They're going to go up $250 at a time, riding that teeter-totter for at least a little bit. This can be like watching paint dry. We sold a hotel property last year in Houghton Lake. Nobody in the room wanted it. It started out, I think it was around $50,000 or $60,000. It went up $250 at a time to like $380,000. We're going to give them just a second here. If they're not bidding fast and furious, we'll close them on out. We're going to at least let it get to near where it was bid in advance to see. There are 3 or 4 bidders. One of them is an advanced bid. The other ones are watching that camera right now. When it gets down to 2, we'll start clocking them for speed. We've got 3 active bidders on this right now. Shouldn't take real long. If it takes more than 3 hours, I buy pizza. How's that? We almost had that happen the other day too, because we had a piece down by Tawas, and there were 2 bidders online, going up $250 at a time, and it started down around $8,000 or $10,000. And I told the room, I just kind of made it funny, and I said, if this hits 100 grand, I'm buying people. What do you get to? 93. Save $15. I didn't say pizza for everybody. I said, hey, pizza. Since they done Little Caesars, I get out of that pretty cheap. We're at $45,000. I don't know if we're going to end there or not. Nope, they're not done quite yet. We got 3 active bidders on this. 4 active bidders. We'll give them just a second here. It could go for a little bit. That's 160 acres. $160. You know that, don't you? Do you know that music? You can think, wait just a second. Now we got more bidders. I think I picked the wrong one. bidders. I think we have 5 now. Okay, it has slowed down, I think they're done. I'm at 48.5 with an online bidder. Anybody here want to give me 48,750 for this one? Anybody at 48,750? What about you? You come to all the sales, you sit in the front row and take up the best seats and you don't spend any money. I know things are pretty boring where you live, not that boring. I need 48,750. Anybody in the room? Going once, twice. Sold it online for 48.5. The backup bidders also online. I have the perfect face for radio. Now, we're going to go to number 1818. Widewater Road, off Widewater Road. This is a 40-acre parcel. I got stuck a couple times real good in Chippewa County this year. On the next 2 pieces I did, I thought Sasquatch was going to eat me. I don't remember, did I get to this one? I don't remember if I got here or not. The fact that there's a map says that I did. Number 1818, I've got 4 bids online. I suspect somebody in the room here is here to bid on this one as well. I'm at $3,100 already online, 40 acres. Who in the room wants to give me 3,200? I've got it there. Anybody in the room at 33? I've got 33 online.
Yep.
You want to give me 4 grand? Jump it up. What about 4,100?
Yep.
How about 5,000? We can
How
do
about
this one.
7?
7. I like the way you bid. I won't have to beat it out of you at all. Now what about 71? I have $7,000 with a bidder in the room. Anybody here want to give me 7,100? Going once, twice. You bought $7,000. What's the bid number? 7,289.
No way you could have found it. No.
Yeah, I find lots of them. Backup bidder is online. Number 1819 and 1820 are not adjacent to each other. There's one parcel in between, but they're in the same area. They're out Curly's Lane, Curly's Boulevard, which is about knee-deep mud. Been there, done that, spent an hour in one spot spinning my tires. I even called 911 and they said, "Are you out of your mind? What are you doing?" But that's the only way to get to this. Nice frontage on the Taquamanon River. 1819 is the one we're selling first. This is about 6.5 acres, give or take. 1819, I've got 10 bids online on this one already. It's at 5,200. Who in the room wants to give me 53? Anybody here at 50? $300. You can get there by vote. It's real simple. 52 online.
Yep.
53 online. Advanced bid online. Live bidder online. Anybody in the room? We'll just wait and let this run. Now we've got 1, 2, 3 online bidders. We'll let this run for just a second, see where it ends up. Four online bidders. You'll never starve out there because even if you get the mosquitoes, they're 14 pounds. They're not eating on that for camp for the whole week. 7,200 and still going. Beautiful river frontage. Great kayaking neighborhood. $7,300 is where it's at the moment. They jumped it up to 7,700. They can now, in the online software, they can jump their bids if they want to go up more than one bid increment. Some of them don't. They're cheap. Like you. $7,900. 2 active bidders right now. When it slows right down, we'll give them a warning and then we'll sell it. $8,000 still going. You're headed out to Paradise, you go across the one great big fancy looking concrete bridge there. That's the Taquamanon. It's right off to the left, off to the west there. About 4 or 5 miles. 8,800 and still going. The assessor thinks these are worth $120,000 a pop. I asked this question once before, many years ago. I finally got a hand in the air. I said, is there anybody here who thinks all of their property is accurately and properly assessed? Little guy right down the front row, boy, that hand went right up. And I said, you're an assessor, aren't you? He said, yes, sir. Right up there at the sale up in, we're in Alger County up there. We're at $8,900. Anybody here want to give me $9,000 for that 6.5 acre piece on the Taquamanon? Going once. Going twice. Sold it for $8,900. Backup bidders also online. Good luck getting there. 1820, there's a road to it. 1820, one parcel removed. There's one in between the one that we just sold and this one, same neighborhood. I'm at $4,800 with an online bidder. Anybody here want to give me $4,900 for this one? Anybody at 49? I've got 48 online.
Yep.
And they're gonna do the same thing. Let's see how many bidders we get on this one. Moving a little faster. 3 bidders right now. We'll give him just a minute here. And we'll arm wrestling. And then we're going to go to our next one, which is 1827 out on Lizzie Street. Heading towards 7,000 on this piece. New bidder. Now we've got 3 or 4. 3 active bidders. 4 active bidders. Another one just popped up. This one I think is 5 acres in size. Or so. No power out here either. Bring your generator. I'm at 8,000 and it's still going. Maybe we'll sell 5 acres for more than we got for 6.5. Who knows? And I jinxed it, didn't I? It's at $8,500. And nope, they're not done. $8,800. $8,900, same price we sold the last one. We're now over the price of the last one. $9,100, 2 active bidders. 9,500. Are they done? 9,500, anybody here want to give me 96? 9,500 going once, twice. Sold that one for $9,500 online. Backup bidder is also online. We'll be in Marquette tomorrow and Waters meet on Saturday. If you got a lot of money to burn and just bored, want to follow us around. 1827 is what we're going to sell next. Lizzie Street, small mid-century ranch, efficient, clean, put together. Older electric service. Neighbor says it's been vacant since spring of 18, so it has been through one winter. Empty. My minimum bid is $5,300. I've got 8 bidders online for this one, 3 or 4 more here in the room. I'm at $18,250 online. They'll go higher. Who wants to give me $18,500? Anybody in the room here for this one today at $18,500? Anybody? $18,250 online. What about live bidders?
Yep.
They're going to keep on going. We're getting to actually have more people bidding in line than in the room now. 19,000 is where it's at. We'll give it a second here to arm wrestle on this one and see where it ends up. It could stop right there. I'm at $20,250. My advance bid has been exhausted. The live online bidder has outbid him. Who wants to give me 20.5? Anybody in the room at 20,500?
Yep.
2 live online bidders watching the camera. 3 online bidders watching the camera. 4 of them actually. We'll let them fight this out a second and see where it goes. $22,000 and they're still bidding. $22,750. $23,000. They're kind of bidding slow. We'll get them moving quicker. I'm at 23. Anybody here want to give me 23,250? Anybody anywhere? $23,000 online. Going once. Going twice. 23.25 in the back of the room. Now I need 23.5.
Yep.
23,750. Now 24. 23,750 in the back of the room going.
Yep.
24.25. 24.5.
Yep.
24,750. Now 25,000. 24,750 in the room. Going once.
Yep.
25 online. 25.25. 25,250. It's only money. Yeah, we'll be later on. I got 25,000 online. Anybody want to give me 25,250? $25,000 online going once, twice. Sold it online for $25,000. My backup bidder in the room. What's your number back there? The backup bidder is 1187. You can't leave yet. You have money left. They haven't spent it. I can smell it. I'm like Hannibal Lecter. Now we're gonna jump down to 1842. In our hit parade of the most popular pieces. 1842, 7th Avenue, Sault Ste. Marie. $18.42. Here it is. Another sharp little rancher. Maple floors, knotty pine accents, newer forced air. This one's been redone in the not too distant past. Efficient, easy to operate. Minimum bid is $3,000. I've got 10 bids online. Almost a dozen people in the room here today chasing this one. I'm already at $18,250. Who wants to give me 19? 19 right there. How about 19 and a half? What about 20? 20,000, 20 and a half, 21 and a half, 22 and a half, 23 and a half, 24,000, 24 and a half, 25, 25 and a half, 26 and a half, 27 and a half, 28 and a half, 29 and a half, 30,000 and a half, 30 and a half, 30 and a quarter. I've got 30,000 right down here in the front row. 30,000 in the front row, going once. 30 and a quarter, 30 and a half. 30,750. 31. No. Checking. 31. 31,000. 31 and a quarter. Don't look at him, look at me. I don't get to say that to girls all the time, I get in trouble. 31 and a quarter. I've got 31,000 right down front. Going once. Going twice. 31 and a quarter. 31.5. You can have parties there, you know. You can invite all the ladies over and play bridge. Euchre, that's even more fun because then they drink. 31 and a quarter. 31.5. 31.5. 31,750. She says, no way, Jose. My name's not even Jose. 31.5, going once.
Yep.
31,750 online. 32,000. You know you want it. You didn't come here today to see me. 31,750 online. 32,000.
What'd you say, 31?
32,000 is what I need for you if you want to keep on going. 32 and a quarter. 32,000 in the room. Going once. Twice. Party time at your house. We're all stopping by later on. 431, 32,000. The backup bidder is online. I think we got one to sell in Luce County. 4103. Now we're going to go back. We're going to get into the book. See how many chairs we got up here, you know? All those tourists are gone.
Yeah, you got more money on the way.
Did I take all of your money? No, I didn't. You're loaded, I can tell. Money bags. See you later. 4103. This is 40 acres. There's a little bit of it on the south side of the road. Most of it's on the north side. Most of this is swamp. There's a little nub of dry land. That's where this is. Somebody did a little bit of work here, but it's not by any means livable or finished. I suppose you could put your mother-in-law there. You never want to see her again. But I do got to, it's 40 acres, most of it's swamp, but I do got to tell you, I was out there taking that picture. I saw a 72 point buck. I ain't lying. I might have been drinking that day. 40 acres, with a little love shack on it. I'm at $18,750. I've got 13 bids online for this one. This is in Luce County. Who wants to give me 19,000? Anybody here for this piece in the room today? Anybody here for this at 19,000? You know what they get for a pound of frog legs now? 19 back there, 19 and a quarter.
Yep.
19 and a half. 19,750.
Yep.
20,000, 20 and a quarter.
Yep.
You gotta give me 21, 21 and a quarter.
Yep.
What about 22 and a quarter?
Yep.
23,000 and a quarter.
Yep.
24 and a quarter.
Yep.
25 and a quarter. Ooh, ominous silence. I'm at 25,000 with you. Anybody in the room at 25,250? Anybody anywhere? 25,000 back there going once. Twice. It's your swamp now. Number 1149. I do need to ask, because you've got one of those blue cards, we told everybody you missed some of our openings, you got no delinquent taxes in these two counties, correct? You demand. 25,000 on number 4103, number 1149 is the winner. Now we're going to go back to the beginning of the book. We still got some pretty good pieces left. Number 1800. Here's what I'm going to do. I've got stuff in this book that I've got a bunch of online bids for, but if you're not here to worry, if you don't want to bid on them, we're going to skip them and get to the stuff you guys want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the numbers. If I say a number and you want to bid on it, you let me know. Number 1800. Anybody here to bid on that? I don't have a note of any, but let's open it up. $1,800. 1800 is on Riverside Drive. Great place to grow anything that needs a lot of water, if you know what I mean. I've got an $1,100 minimum bid, 6 bids online. I'm at $4,400 already. This one is 13, almost 14 acres. You gonna give me $4,500? 45 in the room, now 46. I've got $4,500 in the room. Anybody?
Yep.
46 with a live bidder on that camera. 47. Now I need 4,800. 47 in the room.
Yep.
48 online. 4,900. Now 5,000. 4,900 in the room. Going once. Twice. You bought it. $4,900. What's the bidder number? 4,900. 231. Backup bidder is online. Anybody here today to bid on 1801? Let's open it up. I got cards in the room. 1801 is on Bennett Road, Eckerman Way. This one needs a little help, maybe with a bulldozer. 1801, I've got a $1,400 bid online. I see several cards in the room in the air, just talking about it. So here's what we're gonna do. It's an interesting little game. It's called the card game. If you would give me $2,000 for that piece, put your card in the air right now. Leave it there till I say a number that you don't like. 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. I'm gonna start with the gentleman in the blue shirt at 3,000. Who wants to give me 3,100? Anybody here at 31? What about the people online? $3,000 with you going once. In the blue shirt, $3,000 going twice. You bought it. 3,000, what's your bid number? 210. Backup bidder. See, when you got here, I told you you never buy anything because you're too cheap. I asked him, I said, did you bring a bunch of money today? And he said, yeah, but you're not getting them. I said, that's because you're too cheap. He said, yeah, I am. He's saving up for something else, I can tell. Do I have bidders in the room for 1803? I've got it sold online. Nope. Let's open it up. I got somebody right there who wants to bid on it. 1803, we're out in Drummond Island. Itsy bitsy teeny tiny little spot. May or may not front on that road you see. It's kind of questionable. There's a couple of roads there that don't clearly show on maps. I think it touches a road that is a legal road, but the road might have not been improved. It might not physically be there. 1803, I've got a $600 bid already online. 650, 650 in the room, 700 online.
Yep.
750, now 800.
Yep.
850, 900.
Yep.
950, $1,000.
Yep.
1,100, now 12.
Yep.
1,300, now 14.
Yep.
$1,500 in the room. Anybody want to give me 16?
Yep.
16 with a live bidder watching that camera. 17 in the room, 1,800. 17 going once. Jesus, going twice.
Yep.
18, 1,900, 19, now 2,000. 1,900 in the room, going once, twice. You bought it 1,900 for 61. That's the neighbor. He wanted it.
Whatever, the 1802.
The aliens took it away in the middle of the night. They kind of went down. I have no idea. Some properties are taken by the local units of government. Some of them are end up in court, whatever the situation. The numbers were signed like in April, so things can disappear. Do I have a bidder in the room for 1805? Anybody here for that one? We'll skip it if nobody in the room wants to bid on it. We'll come back and visit it later. Anybody in the room here today can bid on 1806? Right there, and I do have an online bid, so let's open that up. 1806 out on Douglas Main Road. This is a ½ acre. It's got a fence around it. It's kind of, there's a house to the north. Is that your house? You've already been taking care of it. Probably your fence. They're here to try to buy it back, or to buy it in general. I've got a $900 bid online. I'm gonna give you $1,000. I got $1,000 for it in the room. Anybody at 1,100? What about live online? $1,000 in the room going once, twice. Now it's yours. $1,000 bill. What's your bidder number? $1,000, 215. Backup bidder is online. $1807 is circled in my book. Do I have somebody here to bid on 1807? All right. I bet you live next door too, because this doesn't have a road to it, which means he owns the road to it. We're in Pickford, 1807. It's on Francis Street. If Francis Street existed, you can kind of see that red dot. That's where it is. And I bet that's his house right to the north of it. Party at his house later on tonight if he wins. $1,500. I've got a bid right there. Anybody at 1,600? Helicopter parking. $1,500 going once, twice. It's yours. Bidder number is 341 at the minimum bid. We like selling to the neighbors. And we know they stay paid from now on. Anybody here today to buy 1808? We'll skip it if nobody wants it. 1808. Let's go down to 1810. Do I have a bidder in the room for 1810? I do have a bid online. Let's open it up. I got somebody in the room that wants to bid on it too. 1810 West Shore Drive, 50 feet, and runs back to the St. Mary River. We have another piece across the street that is also potentially useful for greenfield or other purposes with this one. 1810, I've already got $1,700 bid online. They're willing to go higher. You gonna give me 2,000? 2,500? 2,500?
I'll give you 3,000.
3,000? How about 4,000? We're gonna do it slow, painful way. Now 4,000 to you? How about 45? 41, 42, 43, 44, 100, 45, 46, 47, 48. Waterfront on the St. Mary's River. 48, 49, $5,000. 51, 52. I've got 51 right there. Anybody in the room at 5,200? I've got 5,200 online.
Yep.
53, 54. Froze. Be done. 54, 55, 56,
Yep.
57, $5,600 for St. Mary's River waterfront. 58 back there, 59.
Yep.
6,000. 6,000? You know, I heard that they were catching 72-inch perch right off that piece. I got $5,900 with an online bidder. Anybody at $6,000? 5,900 going once, twice, 5,900 online. My backup bidder, what's your number back there? 194. $1,811. Anybody here to bid on $1,811 today? It's right across the street from that one. Are you sure? Have you seen this? The shack is embellishing. We'll sell it to you anyway. Let's open it up. 1811, there is a house right there. You might not be able to see it. If you weigh more than 14 pounds, you don't want to go inside that house, unless you want a quick tour of the basement. 1811, $900. Mr. Moneybags over here is going to give you $900 for that. You could move your kids in here. Next time they start acting like they know everything, put them in there. They'll be back home in a hurry. 900 there. Who wants to give them 950? $1,000. 11, 1,200, 13, 1,400, 15, 1,600, 17, 18, 19, 2,000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, $3,000, 31. It's the only house like that I got today. I hope. 31, I got 3,000, 31, 32, 33. You know, there could be oil on that property. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, $4,000, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 45, it's air conditioned. 4,400 over here, going once, going twice, 45, 46. Oh, you want it? 46, 46, 47. Advanced buyer's remorse. 47, 46 going once, 46 going twice, 47, 4,800, 49, 5,000, 51. He said it's yours. 5,000 going once, twice. You bought it. Chippewa County thanks you. It's your problem now. What's the bidder number? 5,405. What's the backup bidder number? 1167. just thank me? You'll take that back in a couple hours as soon as you get out there. 18, is anybody here to bid on 1813 today? If not, we'll skip it. I don't have any online bids on it. Let's go by that one. We already sold 1814. 1815 is two parcels being sold together. They're adjacent. There's a single wide here. The reason that we sell adjacent pieces together is because back in the olden days when we didn't do it, we sold a few houses that had a lot next door to them that was a vacant lot, and whoever bought the house was too cheap to buy the vacant lot, but they were always on the phone about 2 weeks later when they discovered that's where the well and septic were. So we just sell adjacent pieces together now. Makes life simpler. This is in Brimley. I have all this. There's a ravine right to the back end of that. My remember is there's a creek, a water. It comes with a water feature. Not in bad condition. Needs a little TLC. End of a quiet road outside of Brimley. I'm at $7,100 online. Who wants to give me 72? 72 in the back of the room. Anybody in the room want to give me 73? I've got 73 online. You gotta give me 75? 76.
Yep.
They can only go up $100 at a time online. You gotta give me 8,000? 8,000. Yes, no, maybe? We'll do it the slow, painful way. 8,000. What about 85? How about 9,000? 86. 86. I'm at 85 with you. I've got 86 online. 87. 88.
Yep.
89. 8,800 online. Going once. Twice.
Yep.
Ooh. Advanced bid and a live bid. Might take just a minute. $9,000. This may take not a long time. Probably about Jeopardy music length.
Long version or short version?
Which I've got 3 versions. You might hear them all today. 9,400. This does come with appliances. It's got a refrigerator in the front yard and stoves out back. You can see that there's a recliner right there in the front lower corner of the picture. A furnace?
Yeah.
What do you need a furnace for up here? $10,000 and it's still moving. $12,000. 12 and a quarter. That could be the end. My advance bid has now expired. So we have an expired advance bid, 1 live bidder. Maybe if somebody else pops up, but I'm at 12,250. Anybody want to give me 12,500? Anybody in the room at 12,500? 12,250 going once. 12,500 in the back of the room. He's back. Now I need 12,750 online. 12,500 going once.
Yep.
12,750 now. 13,000. 13. I'm at 12,750 online. Going once. Twice. Sold it online for 12,750. My backup bidders 217. On the next page, do I have a bidder in the room for 1817? Anybody here to bid on that one today? If not, we'll skip it. We already sold 18, 19, and 20. I'm pretty sure I got bidders for 1821, so let's open that up. It's on Kimball Street. Oh, yeah. This one comes with probably 2 or 3 automobiles. You'll have to put them together. If you catch the drift on that, they're kind of scattered all over the yard, the basement, and inside the house. This one has been rode hard and put away wet. Take a frat party on steroids and magnify that a little bit, and that's what the inside of this one looks like. 1821, it needs you're gonna be on a first name basis with the dumpster man. I need $3,900 for this one. Where's my bidders? You're a brave man. 3,900, 4,000, 4,100, 4,000 with you. Anybody in the room at 4,100? 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. This one has a toilet in the kitchen. I have never seen that in my entire life. 47, 48, 49, 5,000, 51, 52, 53, 54, 5,500, 56, 57, 58, 59, $6,000. You all done? I'm at 5,900 with you. Anybody in the 6,000, 61, 62, $6,100 here. Anybody in the room at 662, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, $7,000, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 8,000, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, I think they know each other, 88, 89, just the way they're looking at each other, 9,000, 90 are not looking at each other, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, $10,000. New bid increment, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10,750, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 11,750, 12 and a quarter. I got you at 12,250. Anybody in the room at 12,5? 12,250 going once. 12,250 going twice. You bought it. 12 and a quarter. What's the bidder number? 12 and a quarter, 244. Backup bidder is 435. Enjoy that one. What do you now? You have to hang around. We only go one way in the book, and that's forward. Anybody in the room want to bet on 1822? We're going to skip it if you don't. On to the next page. I have a circle around 1823. Do I have a bidder here for that one? It's our beer bottle boneyard. I have no idea what you're going to do with that piece of property. This one has, and I'm not making this up, probably 10,000 crushed beer bottles. They're all Bud Light. Somewhere there is a bottle return machine that's had its bowels cleaned out and they're piled up. That's all that blue you see is Bud Light labels, and all the brown you see is glass. And I was parked right on top of that before I realized what I was parked on top of. Later that week, I went through 2 tires. How do you think that happened? 1823, $1,400. This is about 3.5 acres. I don't think you're gonna be able to return any of these, just if that's your angle. I need $1,400 for it. Where's that bidder? 1,400. Anybody want to get 15? 15, 16, 17, 1,800, 19, now 2,000, 2,100, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. You gotta give me $3,000. How about 3,500? $4,000. 36. I've got you on at 3,500. Anybody in the room want to give me 36? What about online?
Yep.
They do some crazy things. Why not? How about 37? 38. Comes with some old tires too, just in case you needed some added value.
Yep.
39 or 38. 39. $4,000. 39 going once.
Yep.
4,000, 41, 42, 4,100 going once.
4,500.
Wow. 45 online, 46, 47,
5,000.
5,000, he's going up $500 a time on you. 51, 5,500. Now I need 56 at a minimum.
Yep.
56, 57, 58. 57 in the room.
Yep.
58 online, 5,900. Now $6,000.
Yep.
61, 6,200.
Yep.
63, 64.
Yep.
6,500, 66.
Yep.
67, 68.
Yep.
69, 7,000.
Yep.
71, 72.
Yep.
7,300, 74.
Yep.
75, 76.
Yep.
77, 7,800.
Yep.
79, $8,000.
Yep.
81, 82.
Yep.
83, 8,400.
Yep.
85, he said he's all done. 8,400 online. Anybody in the room at 8,500? 84 going once. 84 going twice. Sold it online, $8,400. My backup bidder. What's the backup bidder number? Backup bidder is number 375. What about 1824? I've got a circle around it, and there she is. I got at least one bidder. Let's open it up. Marquette Avenue. Oh yeah, the Bird House. Went into this one and I thought it was a little strange that the stairway to the second floor had a sheet of plywood over it. Till I went up there. And each room had a sheet of plywood over the door. The pigeons had been taking the house over one room at a time. And they just kept putting up sheets of plywood until it got to the point that all they had left was a couple rooms on the main floor, and then they flew the coop. This probably needs to come down. It's probably a health hazard. I'm gonna guess that's what you're doing. 1824, right across the street from the school. $7,300, I've got bid right there. Anybody that wanna give me 7,400? What about you? You rent stuff like this, don't you? The Birds, right? It's the Birds. I got 73 going once, twice. Happy bulldozing. What's the bidder number? 113 at the minimum bid. $1,825. I've got 4 bids online on this one. We'll open it up. It's got to be some kind of interest in it. John Street. This is an entire city block. There used to be a building on or near it. There are some kind of 2-trackish kind of roads that get to it. I think it actually does have some real road frontage. I'm at $2,300 online. Anybody want to give me 24? Anybody here for this one today? 24 in the room. 2,500 online.
Yep.
26, 27,
Yep.
28, 29,
Yep.
3,000, 31,
Yep.
32, 3,300,
Yep.
34. I'm at $3,300 online. Anybody want to give me 3,400? Whole city block. 3,300 going once.
Yep.
2 bidders watching that camera right there. Anybody want to give me 30? Oh, 1, 2, at least 2 bidders online. It's at 4,000 and still ticking away. 3 online bidders now. $4,200. Need 43. 42 going once. 43, he's back in. Now 44. $4,300 in the room. Going once. Twice. You bought it. 4,300, what's the bidder number? 4,300, 194. Backup bidder is online.
What was the number on that? Forgot.
The price?
Yeah.
4,300. Anybody here to bid on 1826 today? Let's skip it. We already sold 1827. On the next page, do I have a bidder in the room for 1828? I've got a bid online for it. Over there, let's open that one up. 1828 is on 8th Avenue. It's a little marshy. There are no improved roads to it. There might be a 2-track. They're not going to snowplow you. No utilities extended out there. I'm at $1,400 online. I need 15. I've got 15 there. 16
Yep.
online. You want to go to 2,000 for that one? I've got 2,100 online. I know how high they'll go.
Yep.
21. How about 3,000? 3,000. What about 3,100?
Yep.
How about 4,000? 4,000. 41.
Yep.
42. 43.
Yep.
44. 45.
Yep.
46. 47.
Yep.
48. 49.
Yep.
5,000. 5,100.
Yep.
52. 53.
Yep.
54. 55.
Yep.
You want to go to 6,000? 6,000. 61.
Yep.
62. 63. I've got 6,200 back there. Anybody at 6,300? 62 going once. Twice. 6,200, 113. My backup bidder is online. Anybody here to bid on 1829? Anybody? Skip it. What about 1830? I've got an online bid, but if nobody in the room wants it, we'll come back to it later. 1830 over here, let's open it up. 1830, 10th Avenue, 75-foot wide lot, municipal utilities by the front, just up the street and around the corner. I've got $650 bid online. You want to give me 7? 700, 750.
Yep.
800, 850.
Yep.
9. It's only money. You're young, you'll make it back. Oh, well then spend it. He's spending somebody else's money and he's out. I'm at 850 online. Anybody at 9? 850 going once, twice. 850 online. What's the backup bidder number? Number 390. $850 online, backup bidder 390. Anybody here for, a lot of these don't have roads to them in this section here. Anybody here for 1831? Let's open it up. Usually we sell these to the neighbor. 1831, 10th Avenue, I need $600. I've got it right there. Anybody want to give me $650? $600 going once, twice. You bought it. Number 160 at the minimum bid. What about 1832? Anybody here for 1832? If not, we'll skip that one. No takers. I've got a circle in my book around 1833. Do I have somebody here to bid on 1833? Right there, open it up. 1833, I need $500 for that one. Which I've got right back there in the room. Anybody want to give me $550? $500 going once, twice. You bought that one too. It's 113, 113 at the minimum bid. Anybody in the room to bid on 1834? 1835, two pieces on Dakota Street. Anybody here for those? It's circled in my book, but they could have left. Now we're into Luce County. Did I miss a page?
Did we do 1835?
I just said 1835. Nobody interested? Let's open that back up, and then I'm not. Oh, okay, I'll bet it's on the other side of the first page of Luce. There it is. Okay. 1835, Dakota Street. Once again, no improved roads. $900 I've got there. Anybody want to give me $950? $900 going once, twice, 113 at the minimum bid. Do I have a bidder here for 1837? Anybody here for 1837? I have online bids for 1839. Anybody in the room for 1839? We'll come back and take their stuff in a minute. What about 1840? Anybody in the room? 1840, open it up. $1840, 14th Avenue, unimproved roads, marshy, $600 I've got bid in the room. Anybody want to give me $650? $600 going once, twice, sold it to 113 at the minimum bid. Anybody here for 1841? Let's open that up. We've got an online bid already on that. That's going to open it up at $650. 700, 7.5.
Yep.
8.5.
Yep.
$900. $900 in the room. Anybody want to give me $950 for that beauty right there? That could be your summer home. Because I don't think you want to try living in that in the winter. I got $900 for that. $950 with a live bidder online. Now $1,000 and $1,100.
Yep.
Now $1,200. 13.
Yep.
1,400. Now 15.
Yep.
1,600. Now 17. 16 in the room. Going once, twice. 1,600. 113. Backup bidder is online. We already sold 1842. 1843 is not being sold today. Maybe in November. Watch the website if you're chasing that one. Luce County is where we're at now. We didn't get to see the inside of anything in Luce County. Is anybody in the room here today to bid on 4,100? Let's open it up. A couple of you. Off M28 in McMillan. Vacant piece of land, does not touch on the road, of value to the neighbors. I'm guessing we got a couple of the neighbors here today. I need $1,000. Got it there. You're gonna give me 1,100? 11, now 12. 13, now 14. 1,500, now 16. 17, 8. $2,500, now 26. 27. 3,000, now 31. 31, 32. 3,500, now 36. I've got 35 over here. 35 going once. 36, 37, 38, 39, $4,000, 4,100, now 42. 4,100 there, going once, 41, with you, going once, going twice. You bought it, 4,100, what's the bidder number? 4,100, 441. Backup bidder number is 240. $4,101. I've got 5 bids online for this one. This is not too shabby. Also in McMillan, right there on the corner. This was owned by the lady that owned the local bar. It went bye-bye and so did she. There were relatives of hers living in there until this spring. So you don't have to worry about whether it's got frozen plumbing, I don't think, because there were people here through the winter that were heating it, so it should be okay. The front deck is collapsed. This is a modular. Remember what we told you, that we do not warrant the titles to mobile modular manufactured homes. This should be all right. I'm gonna assume that this was all done the proper way. There's no strange third parties rolling around out there. So that all being said, 1.5 car garage. We're not allowed inside the stuff. That's why there's no interior pictures, because the state manages Luce County. Peeking through the windows, it looked okay. It looked like a lot of stuff around, but it didn't look trashed. It didn't look grubby. It looked okay. 4,101. I'm at $8,600 for this one, right out of the gate. Who wants to give me $8,700? Anybody in the room here for this one today? That's awful cheap for that. 87, 88.
Yep.
You gonna give me 9,000? 9,000, 91.
Yep.
Gonna give me 10, 10 and a quarter, new bid increment now.
Yep.
10 and a half, 10,750.
Yep.
11,000, 11 and a quarter.
Yep.
11 and a half, 11,750.
12,000.
12,000 and a quarter, 12 and a half. We're with live bidders now on the camera. Our advanced bid is expired.
Yep.
12 and a half, 12,750, and now 13.
Yep.
13 and a quarter, 13 and a half.
Yep.
13,750, and now 14,000. 13,750 in the room. You can't build a garage for that. 13,750 going once. Going twice. You got the deal of the day. 13,750, number 200. Backup bidder is online. Number 4102, I have bids for online. We have a bidder in the room for 4102. Let's open it up. Got one breathing right here in front of me. 8 acres on 372, County Road 372 at Truman Street. We've got a whole bunch of property kind of right here in one area that we're going to be selling. 4102, I've got 4 bids already for this one. It opens at 3,400. You want to give me 35? He doesn't. I've got $3,400 online. Anybody want to give me 35? 34, this is Newberry, going once.
Yep.
35 online. Advanced bid, live bidder on the camera. We'll give them a second here to sort that out. I know how high the advanced bid goes. So we'll see what happens. I'm at $3,700 for 8 acres, Newberry. Anybody want to give me 38? 37 going once. Twice.
Yep. 3,900.
Oh, 39. That may be the end of it. Anybody want to?
Yep.
2 live bidders on camera. Fighting it out. We'll give them a second here. $4,000 online. Need 4,100. Going once. Twice. Sold it online, $4,000. The backup bidder is also online. We already sold 4103. Is anybody in the room here to take a bid on 4104? Anybody here for that? Let's open it up. Dollar bill, we've got 2 pieces in dollar bill. This one, actually it's 3 pieces in 2 sales. This one is a little corner parcel. It's actually 2 lots, 3 lots that are adjacent to each other. The RV is not included. Remember what we told you about personal property, things that have separate titles or wheels under them? We have no title to that. I think a neighbor is parking back there. Is that your camper?
No,
No,
but we know what.
but you mow it.
Yeah.
You know whose camper it is? It's not yours. You can't have it. You like everything that's free, don't you? Yeah, you sure do. How about you stop by the side of the road, pick up cans, don't you? You drive by and you stop by and see a can on the road, I bet you just squeal on the brakes. Doesn't he? He doesn't? $1,600 I've got right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 17? 17 behind you. Is that your camper? Oh, well, it's not now. 18. Gonna give you 18? 19. 2,000. Don't look at him, look at me. 2,000? 2,000? 21. 2,100? 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. You sure? There's 3 of you. You can split it up. That ain't much money. I got 2,600 with you. Anybody in the room at 2,700? 27. 28. 29. $3,000. Now 31. I got $3,000 with the lady in blue. 3,000 going once. Twice. It's all yours now. 3,467. My backup bidder. What's your number up there? Backup bidder is 470. On the next page. I don't have anything on this page circled by anybody in the room, but I'm gonna go through them and we're gonna ask. Anybody here today for 4106? 4106. Let's open it up. This one is, I think, kind of sort of occupied. It's actually not that trailer. That picture's not correct. Next to it, I think, is what we're selling. There's a vacant piece and there's an older wood frame building. You know which ones we're selling, correct?
And we thought it was both.
There's some confusion over lot lines out there. It's the older frame house. It is not this trailer. That was supposed to have been removed. This photo was. Anybody, I've got a $1,400 bid online, and we'll have to sort that out with them, because it does say in here that it is an older wood frame house. Anybody in the room at 1,500? I've got 14 bid online. Going once, twice. Sold that one online at minimum bid. And I will make a note. We'll let them cancel their sale if they thought it was normal. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you're dealing with because it's not surveyed. Anybody in the room here to bid on 4107? What about 4108? I do have a bid online, and I'll take yours too. 4108. This is 14 acres. As far as I can tell, does not have any frontage on an improved publicly accessible road. That road that you see that cuts through the top corner of that piece of property is on that map, but I didn't really see it when I was out there. I drove back and forth up and down that road, and it might be off the back corner of somebody else's property. I would not call it a road, I'd call it a trail. 14 plus acres, $1,200 I've got bid online. You wanna give me 13? 13, 14 online.
Yep.
15, 1,600.
Yep.
17, 1,800.
Yep.
1,900, now 2,000.
Yep.
2,100, now 22.
Yep.
2,300, now 24. Anybody in the room at 2,400? 24 online?
Yep.
Live bidder, 2,400, now 2,500, now 26.
Yep.
27, 28.
Yep.
29, $3,000.
Yep.
31. 31, now 32.
Yep.
33. 3,300, it's only money.
Did you explain that it's landlocked?
I did.
Surrounded by-
Has no frontage on any improved public road. It may have legal access, it does not have an improved access, right?
There's nothing in the road.
3,300, now 34.
Yep.
3,500, they said they're all done. They're gonna go put up a fence. I got $3,400 online. Anybody that want to give me 35?
Yep.
2 online bidders who don't care about that fence, they're gonna come in by helicopter. 3,600, we'll give them just a second here. If you're one of those 2 online bidders, the claim here in the room by adjacent property owners is there is no road access to this property. Make sure you know that. 4,000 and they're bidding anyway, they don't care. 4,100. And they're not done. One of these is a regular, and I know he's not a neighbor. The other one I do not recognize. 4,500, and they're still going. $4,500 is where it's at. Anybody in the room at 46? 4,500 going once, twice. Sold that one for 4,500 online. The backup bidder is also online. Do I have a bidder in the room for 4,109? Rosemary Lane, there, let's open it up. About 1/3 of an acre or so. Used to be a house here, it's gone. Newberry. Nice neighborhood, there's a foundation back there, you can't see it, there's no basement, and all the people in the neighborhood have been dumping their brush and leaves in there. Is that some of that's yours?
No.
Oh, of course not. You'd never do that. I need $1,200 for it. I've got it right there. The people that live next door, I need 13. Anybody in the room with 1,300? 12 going once. 12 going, you can always make it into a swimming pool. A little bit of that spray stuff you see on TV, that sealer stuff, you're good to go. Sold it, number 351, minimum bid. Probably would work. Do I have a bidder in the room for 4,111? There, I've got a bid online for it also. 2.2 acres, Twin Lakes Road. No power out here. I remember this piece, nice piece. There's a camp spot on it. I don't know if it's on this piece or very close to it, because it wasn't, I had no survey, no exact way of knowing. But there's a road cut right in about where that sign is. Little storage shed, little camp spot. No power out here though. The shed's gone? Was deer blind? No, did you take it?
No, the owner
Oh, did he now?
Or the actual one.
Former owner. 4111, I've got $2,200 already bid online. Who wants to give me 23, 23, 24?
Yep.
25, 26.
Yep.
27, 28.
Yep.
29, 3,000.
Yep.
31, 32.
Yep.
33, 34.
Yep.
35, 36.
Yep.
37, 38.
Yep.
39, 4,000.
Yep.
41, 42.
Yep.
43, 44.
Yep.
45, 46. Ooh, $4,500 there. Anybody in the room at 4,600? What about you? You haven't spent any money yet today.
It's a nice lot.
45 going once, twice. It's yours now. $4,500. What's the bidder number? 4,500. 455. Backup bidders online. Anybody here today to buy 4112? On the last page, I have nothing circled by anybody in the room, but I'll go through the list. Anybody here today to bid on 4113? 4113, I've got some bids online. What about 4114? 4116? 41 what?
Still guessing.
What are you guessing? You can just take all your money right downstairs and put it in one of those slots and probably do better. Don't bet on something you didn't see. Which one? There is not. Doesn't mean there won't be after. We let the people online pick up, because we're skipping stuff, we let the people online pick through the pile right after the sale. If you want it, open it up now. Or sit around here and watch what they do and you can bid against them, but we don't announce it. Anybody interested in 4113, 4114, 4116, 13? You want me to open it up? Okay, 4113. I have 4 bids online on this piece. County Road 372, Truman Boulevard. This, I think, is small acreage. I've got $3,700 bid online. Can you give me 38? What if there's gold out? What if Newberry strikes gold?
I've been there.
Did you find the gold?
No,
Then
they,
you didn't look hard enough.
they dug it out. They used to grow carrots there.
Carrots, that's gold. To a rabbit. $3,700 online. Anybody want to give me 38? 37 going once.
Yep.
Oh, live bidder watching that camera. Bet I know who didn't know. Look at that. I got 2 different bidders online chasing this piece. I was just kidding about the gold, by the way. Anybody at 4,000? $3,900 online going once. Twice. Sold it online, $3,900. Backup bidders also online. Anybody want to bid on 4114? 4116? 4117? Okay, we're done. We've gone through the book. Carrie's going to talk. We're going to take a short break. Carrie's going to talk to people bidding live online and ask them what they want us to open back up.